Welcome, everybody, to the July 1st, 2021 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margraf, Mr. Long,
Here.
Mr. Perez.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements? I don't have any either. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 20th, 2021. I recommend we approve those minutes.
I concur.
Bid opening, 5th District Water Improvements, Schneider Avenue to 171st Street. Looks like we have 4 bids. The first one is from Hassey Construction. We have the bid. We have the bid bond. We have the Form 96. And we have the non-collusion affidavit. And Hassey's bid is, let me get to it again, sorry, $595,863. The second one is from Grimmer Construction, Highland, Indiana. Have their bid. Have the bid bond. Have the Form 96 and the non-collusion affidavit. And Grimmer Construction's bid is $570,442.50. The next bid is from Dyer Construction, Dyer, Indiana. Have their bid, the bid bond, the Form 96, and let's see here, and the non-collusion affidavit. And their bid is $579,975.21. And the last bid is from Gary, Indiana. Have the bid. Have the bid bond. Let's see here. Have the Form 96. And the non-collusion affidavit. Gary Up's bid is $525,735. Got that? Okay. I'm going to recommend that we forward the bids to engineering for their review and recommendation.
I concur.
Okay. Number 6, matters from department heads or their representatives.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. morning.
Good morning.
I do have an action that the engineering department's requesting the permission to have the Board of Public Works and Safety grant permission to advertise a project. I regret the lateness of this submittal. It is for the Robertsdale lead remediation project, phases 1 and 2, for bidding the project. We'd like to try to get approval today, advertise next Thursday, I think that's the 7th of July, and then again on the 14th, if my dates are correct, and have a bid opening on July 29th. This is a real important project. We've been talking about it for some time.
Absolutely.
We're going to be using American Recovery Plan Act funds for this. There are approximately 100 homes in this area. We're taking it in about 6 phases, so it's probably about 18 to 20 homes in the first phase, the first 2 phases. And we'd like to get some clarification with the consultant on when exactly we'll go to completion on this, but we ask for your permission to advertise this today. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation that we approve the advertising and also the bid opening date.
I concur.
Good?
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Department head representative, like to speak? Okay. Letter A, correspondence received from NDOT advising of lane restriction or on southbound Calumet Avenue and westbound I-8094 to southbound Calumet Avenue ramp from July 6, 2021 to July 10th, 2021.
I believe this is Reith Riley's resurfacing of the bridges on 8094, so it's the westbound ramps now. You're aware that we've been having the eastbound ramps at Calumet Avenue closed. They are reopened now, the eastbound ramps, both there and at Indianapolis, but this is the westbound on-ramp and the southbound portion of the ramps at Calumet Avenue.
And they expect those to be done by the July 10th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty short window for this.
Okay. Then I will make a recommendation that we approve NDOT's request.
I concur.
Thank you.
You're welcome. B, correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, city engineer, advising of lane restrictions on Calumet Avenue at the Indiana Toll Road from July 7th, 2021 to July 31st, 2021 for substructure repairs of the bridge over Calumet Avenue.
So this is an NDOT project. Reith Riley is doing substructure work on the bridge. I should say it's an Indiana Toll Road project because they're repairing the substructure of the bridge that crosses Calumet Avenue. And so we don't really have a lot of control in terms of where and when they do this work. But they have a lane restriction, 1 lane each way to work on the piers and abutments on both sides of Calumet Avenue. So there'll be 1 lane open in each direction all the time.
Okay. I feel like we've been dealing with that for a while anyway, so that's,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation. We approve the Indiana Toll Roads request.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter C, correspondence received from Grimmer Construction Incorporated advising Goslin Street will be closed for 2 days beginning on or about July 7th, 2021 from Dearborn Avenue to State Line Avenue.
This is part of Chicago Street Phase 1. We waited until after the 4th of July holiday to do this closure. This is Goslin right at State Line. They have to switch the traffic from the existing Goslin Street, basically the north side of the road, to the south side. In order to do that, they need a 2-day closure to build the approach ramps coming from Illinois. We have notified all of the businesses in the area. We know that the mobile station and the smoke shop and the fireworks stand are all very vocal businesses, but we're doing the best we can. This is, we really have to get this done at some point, and we're trying to minimize the closure as best we can. We'd ask for your approval for this action on or about July 7th.
Okay. Any questions, Johnny? You good? Okay, I'll make a recommendation, then we approve Grimmer Construction's request.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, correspondence received from Mr. Scott Rakos, 6th District Councilman, requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated for summer park activities and improvements. It's been signed by the councilman, the controller, and the mayor. Nothing? Okay, I will make a recommendation. We approve Mr. Rakos' request.
I concur.
Letter E, correspondence received from Mr. Barry Tyler Jr., 3rd District Councilman, requesting $10,000 of gaming funds be allocated for summer park activities and improvements. It's also been signed by the councilman, the controller, and the mayor. So therefore, I will make a recommendation to approve Councilman Tyler's request.
I concur.
Letter F, correspondence received from Mr. Dave Werpel, 5th District Councilman, requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated for summer park activities and improvements. The request has been signed by the councilman, the controller, and the mayor. I will make a recommendation. We approve Councilman Werpel's request.
I concur.
Letter G, correspondence received from Mr. Barry Tyler Jr., 3rd District Councilman, requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated for construction of Windridge Park. Good. Okay, also signed by the councilman, the controller, and the mayor. I will make a recommendation to approve Councilman Tyler's request.
I concur.
Correspondence received from Mr. William Emerson Sr., 4th District Councilman, requesting $12,975 of gaming funds be allocated for design services for lighting projects with VS Engineering.
Mr. Chairman, I have just a special request that we actually defer this request. No consolation to Councilman Emerson. We're changing a tactic on how we're doing street lighting projects, where we're going to hire one engineer to design all of our street lighting projects that are being requested by the council. Unfortunately, Councilman Emerson's is the only one that's here for you today. We have others coming. We'd like to do that all at one time. So no disrespect to Councilman Emerson, but I'd ask for you to defer this 1 week so we can consolidate the other requests. They come in all at one time, and we can contract with the engineer for all of that work.
Okay, so for next week's meeting,
Yeah,
you said
yes.
July 8th?
Defer till next week, please.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to defer approving this till next week's meeting, July 8th, 2021.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings. Okay, I will make a recommendation. We set these to August 5th, 2021.
I concur.
Okay, J, correspondence received from Ms. Epifania Bradley requesting permission to hold a block party on July 24th, 2021 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. with street closure. Let's see.
Is there a location?
Yes, 1706 Myrtle is the address. And she has several signatures from neighbors. Let's see, would like, Johnny, she's requesting picnic tables, garbage cans, and barricades. Yeah, I'll forward it to. Yep. Okay, I will make a recommendation to approve Ms. Bradley's request and forward to Board of the Public Works for the tables, garbage cans, and barricades that are requested.
I concur.
Okay. Letter K, correspondence received from the Miramontes family requesting permission to hold a block party on July 4th, 2021 on Hoffman Street with street closure. I know we've approved some of these in the past.
Ask for the address, please.
It's right on, they're not blocking Hoffman. It's right on the corner of, what is it? Hickory or Cedar. Okay. It's just pretty much the alley right there. They've had it before.
Calumet's fine.
Yes.
West is true.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see if she's requesting anything. don't see a request for anything, Johnny. I know they did in the past, though. Yeah, we're gonna forward it to you, just to be safe. Okay, I'm gonna make a recommendation to approve Ms. Martinez's request and forward to Public Works for whatever equipment she might need.
I concur.
Okay. Letter M, correspondence received from Miss Jessica Newton requesting permission to hold a block party on 172nd Place, July 24th, 2021, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. with street closure. Last of Logan. I missed L? Yeah, that's the one I'm on right now, right? Yeah. Or no, letter L we approved.
Well, you started with Miramont.
Oh, I got you, okay. Then we're gonna go to L, sorry about that, we'll go to L first then. Thanks, Nick. Correspondence received from Ms. Mona Lisa Martinez requesting permission to hold a block party on July 4th, 2021 on Logan Street with street closure. Yeah, let's see what's this one. Again, nothing requested, Johnny, but she does have signatures from neighbors.
To us.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make a recommendation to approve Ms. Martinez's request and forward it to Public Works and Safety for their, whatever equipment might be needed.
I concur.
Okay. Now, letter M, correspondence received from Ms. Jessica Newton requesting permission to hold a block party on 172nd Place, July 24th, 2021, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. with street closure. Looks like they're just closing it from the alley to the stop sign. They also have signatures from neighbors. I will make a recommendation to approve Ms. Newton's request and forward it to Public Works for any equipment that might be needed.
I concur.
Letter N. Correspondence received from Trina Lee Schultz requesting permission to hold a birthday party on July 17th, 2021 on Rhodey Avenue with street closure and a bounce house at 904 Cherry Street. Party. Street 904, I can't think of there's really nothing there. Good. Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to approve Ms. Schultz's request. However, somebody will let her know, Lynn, if she can't have the bouncy house, it has to be on her property.
I concur.
Letter O, correspondence received from the Women's Care Center of Hammond, 6919 Indianapolis Boulevard, requesting the parking lot be striped to indicate parking spaces.
Mr. Chairman, I looked at an aerial map yesterday when I saw this. It appears to be private property, and so the city would not be responsible for striping the lot. The requesting person would want to contact either the property owner or the landlord to undertake that work.
Yeah, Johnny drove by this morning. It's definitely private property, so they'll have to do it for sure, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, then I will make a motion that we forward a letter to, or a phone call explaining that it's their property. They'll be responsible for the striping.
I concur.
Letter P, correspondence received from New Zion Temple, 926 Morris Street, requesting permission to hold a youth parade on July 31st, 2021 at noon with police and fire escort with route. You know anything about that, Donnie?
I'm sorry?
You know anything about the New Zion parade? Have they contacted you at all?
No, they have not, sir. They include a route?
Let me see. No. Well, hold on, maybe this will explain it. Yeah, parade will begin from the church at 926 Moore Street, travel north on Tapper to May Street, where we make a right and travel to Columbia Avenue. We would like to travel south on Columbia to Kenwood, where we will make a right and travel down to Tapper to return to the church.
Okay. Yeah, if you go ahead and approve that, if you would feel like it, and then we'll take care of it for you, sir.
Forward it to you.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to approve New Zion's Temple's request and forward it to police and fire and also EMA for their assistance. You think they'll need some? Okay, we'll also forward it to Public Works in case they're needed. Good.
I concur.
Okay, letter Q, correspondence received from New Zion Temple requesting permission to hold a block party on Sunday, August 29th, 2021, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. with street closure. This must be the second letter. Merrill Morris to the corner. Outdoor block party. I'm good with it. You good? Okay, I'm going to make a recommendation to approve New Zion Temple's request and forward it to Public Works for any equipment that might be needed.
I concur.
Matters from board members, you have anything, Johnny?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
if we could, just two things, and I apologize, I was asleep at the switch over here. Letter N, I just want to make sure that the bounce house, that they're instructed that that cannot be on city property, it needs to be on private property with
Yeah,
the bounce house.
I-
And on matters for other board members, I wanted to alert the board in a request that we add to next week's agenda, a demolition hearing for, thank you, 1219 150th. It'll be an emergency request by the inspections department. And Lynn, I've copied you on a couple emails this morning. Thank you.
We're going to take bids that day, is that what you said, Ken?
No, I'm sorry, it's going to be an emergency hearing
Oh, gotcha.
for
Okay.
demolition due to some recent damage.
Okay. Do I need to get that approved, or is that just for right now? Is it- Gotcha, okay. Okay, under new business, letter A, business license hearing for Beatniks. Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Rip Johnson. My wife and I, Bonnie, own and operate Beatniks on Conkey, a coffee house community theater. And we did forget to apply for our license this year, and the COVID, and we've been closed since last March, so financially we're strapped, and we're asking the board to relieve us of the $200 penalty portion of the licensing fee.
Okay, so I have, the property address has been or the business has been licensed as a restaurant from 2008 through 2020. They've missed 2021. The one change I would recommend for, any license applications or anything submitted moving forward is that they be filed under the Beatnik Entertainment LLC listing that is currently active with the Secretary of State, as Beatniks on Conkey was administratively dissolved. So we just want to make sure that they're utilizing proper the active business formation that is recognized by the Secretary of State. If they plan to operate under a shortened or condensed business name operation, then just an assumed name certificate or request would have to be filed with the Secretary of State, and then they can file their appropriate documentation. But they have been licensed every year from 2008 to last year, only missing 2021.
Okay.
I don't have any objections to the waiver either. I just want to make sure that, and this is one of the things we've been doing with the new ordinance, and that's just, they shouldn't be registered as a restaurant. That's not their fault necessarily. It's just that's probably how it was always registered. So I just want to make sure when he does register, it'll be a general business license.
You understand that, sir?
I don't know the difference between a general business license and a restaurant business.
They'll have the form for you.
Okay, okay,
So you're good with that?
sure.
Okay. Okay, then I'm going to make a recommendation to waive the late fee for Beatniks for their business license.
I concur.
Absolutely, sure, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Okay, letter B, under new business, amendment to the license agreement for Marquette Greenway, 150th Street, Hammond, to East Chicago city limits.
Mr. Chairman, this is a license agreement with the Northern Indiana Public Service Commission company, I should say, NIPSCO. We have a standing license agreement with them. This agreement amends the current agreement. This is a portion of the Marquette Greenway Trail that runs from Illinois all the way to Michigan. The segment that we're talking about is along the NIPSCO right-of-way south of 150th, basically to the point underneath the toll road where it goes into East Chicago. This segment is being redesigned to extend the Marquette Greenway into East Chicago, and East Chicago has a project with the DNR to fund a segment thereafter. We're widening a section on the north end at 150th to accommodate a widened trail segment. And then at the south end, the alignment changes to go on to property recently acquired by the Hammond Sanitary District, the old railroad right-of-way that goes into East Chicago. And that accommodates that relocation off of the NIPSCO right-of-way and onto this newly purchased Hammond Sanitary District property.
Okay. Anything? Good? Okay. Okay, I will make a recommendation to approve the amendment to the license agreement for Marquette Greenway.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter C, right-of-way permit submitted for approval by the engineering department.
We're
Good to know.
seeking your approval. Thank you.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, disposal authorization submitted by the Hammond Police Department. And I'm sure they're out there working really hard. So. Let's see. I will make a recommendation to approve the disposal authorizations.
I concur.
Let's see here. Make sure I'm on the right one, yeah. Okay, letter E, first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 5955 Wallace Road. Guys, somebody with Wallace Road? Anybody?
Yes. Sorry, we're
okay.
dealing with this
That's
emergency
okay.
demo. I
That's
apologize.
okay.
Wallace Road, Mr. Mitchell should have signed that, the rehab agreement, and
He did.
he did. And this is a building, it's one of those duplexes on Wallace, Chief Long, that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yep.
It's moving along, so we're happy with the progress and would like to allow him to continue. It's a 90-day extension. We'd request its approval.
Okay, I will make a recommendation to approve the extension of the agreement at 5955 Wallace Road.
I concur.
Letter F, agreement to rehabilitate property located 407 165th Street.
Yes, Mr. President and Board, you may be familiar with this property. This was the property that the porch was ripped off twice, like in a 3-month summer period 2 years ago with a fatal accident, and also, I believe, another incident that occurred there. So this is on the corner of 165th and I think that's Blaine or Garfield, I forget which it is there. Is it Blaine there? And
I
then
think it's Blaine.
Okay. So actually, they're doing work. I saw the roof got torn up on the garage. They're doing some work around the house. We're pleased with this because we thought this was one that we were going to have to tear down. The family did appear at a demo hearing. They said they were going to fix it up, and they're beginning to do that. So we're pleased with the progress. We'd request that it be approved.
Okay. I will make a recommendation to approve the agreement to rehabilitate the property located at 407 165th.
I concur.
Letter G, order to rescind and release order to demolish property located at 6739 Ontario Avenue.
Pleased to report that this has been sold to a developer who is going to rehab the property and sell it as a single-family home. This is just more paperwork than anything else so that it can be clean title when he transfers it. I apologize. This is a property. The reason we're rescinding it is we already demoed it. He's paying part of the lien off at closing
Okay.
so that it can be developed into new construction.
Gotcha.
Yep. And so this order will allow the title to be clear when he transfers it.
Okay. Then I will make a motion to rescind and release the order to demolish the property located at 6739 Ontario.
I concur.
And Lynn, if we could just make sure to get that back to my office so that we can record it. Thank you.
Letter H, contract for demolition services with JM Industrial Services Incorporated, property located at 1108 through 14 Morris Street.
Yes, Mr. President and Board, this is the church that we've discussed on several occasions. I'd like to state on the record that the recommendation from Mr. Kearney is that JM Industrial Services, Inc. is the lowest responsible and responsive bidder on this property, and we would request that award we'd request that the contract as presented be approved.
We'll make a recommendation to approve the contract for demolition services with JM Industrial Services.
I concur.
You know what, Mr. President, could we also, if you could, as part of that matter, if we could also approve the award of that demolition to JM as the lowest responsible and responsive bidder
Okay.
in the amount of the contract.
Do you mean to give the contract total?
You could give the total, sure. I just want to make sure we have, because this was one of several. We don't think it was awarded as part of the last batch, so I just want to make sure that Mr. Kearney's recommendation to award it, he's here present, and he's agreeing with what I'm saying, that it be awarded to JM as the lowest responsible and responsive bidder in that amount of the contract, if you could read that amount.
Yeah, the amount is for $35,000. So that will be part of the recommendation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I concur.
Letter I, rental registration hearing on various addresses.
Yeah, I believe this item is referencing the box of addresses you have there.
Right.
I would request that the board approve the processing of those applications. When I took over the code enforcement position, I discovered the box in my office. Subsequently, determined that it was a property management company who had submitted some things earlier in the year where they had some issues. We were on a rotating skeleton shift due to COVID in the office, so I believe it was a circumstantial situation that kind of snowballed out of effect. When I took over the department, the vast majority of them were envelopes that weren't even open, so I didn't feel it was pertinent to, hold the property management company or the property owners responsible for our inability to process them in a timely manner. I had my part-time secretary work with an individual from the property management company to go through every application, every check, and get everything prepared to be processed so they get caught up. So I've just requested the board approve them as situated and go from there.
Just a couple questions on the record, Nick. So that we did receive all of them in a timely fashion from landlords or whoever they were supposed to?
As far as I'm aware, so when I accepted the mayor's offer to head the code enforcement department, that box was sitting in my office with
So I want to make sure that,
unopened.
Nick, the record's clear that,
Yep.
that these have been reviewed individually by you or your staff.
Correct.
And that each of them has a sheet attached to them requesting the waiver and indicating that the materials were received prior to April 15th. That the belief of the department is that these were received before the deadline.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, and it was just due to an oversight, correct?
Correct. Yeah, basically, it was understaffed. There were people that had contracted COVID and were out of the department. And so the only other option I had was to leave them sit there, which wasn't an option in my eyes.
And we just want to make
So-
sure that for the record that there's two things that we're taking.
Right.
One, that these were received prior to April 15th.
Correct.
And that two, that you or your staff have reviewed these and there's a piece of paper on each of them.
100%.
Okay, then you're good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'm going to make a recommendation that we approve the rental registration checks that we received.
I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you look at these, Johnny? Letter J, garage sale permits submitted for approval. Make a recommendation to approve the garage sale permits.
I concur.
Okay, under old business, letter A, the hand railing, 2023 Davis Avenue.
This is a situation with a handicapped resident who needs assistance getting from her vehicle to her home residence. A handrail was installed, so we requested that we obtain a notice from her physician explaining the necessity for it due to its current installation. And then once it's no longer needed, we can move forward with having it removed. So I just asked the board acknowledge and approve the existence of the hand railing that was installed for this resident's use.
Yeah, that's the one we've seen the pictures of.
Correct, yeah,
A while
on
back.
Davis, yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay, I will make a recommendation to approve the hand railing for 2023 Davis, and when it's no longer needed, it will be removed.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
concur.
Letter B, rental registration, 7133 Alexander Avenue and 1108 177th Street.
So the property owner for these locations had appeared at the June 10th hearing. The two properties in question, based on our records, showed that the rental registration was owed for 2020 and 21. The owner contended that he had covered 2021's rental registration, so I just requested that he provide, the documentation or receipt that he had showing that, and I would change the board. The board did approve the waiver of the late fees for those 2 years. However, to accurately reflect and ensure that he doesn't have to pay for another year that he's already paid for, he did provide the receipt and stickers for those properties for that year. So I would just request that the board approve this amended findings and orders for the waiver of the late fees for these two property addresses.
And then the amendments that we're waiving the late fee for 20 and 21?
Just 21 because.
Just 21?
Correct.
We already did
Prior-
for 20, is that what you're saying?
Right. On the June 10th hearing, we approved the waiver of late fees for both years. However, he had already paid for 20.
Right.
It just wasn't reflective in our system.
Okay.
So he provided the proof that that was taken care of. So to remove the $5 charge for 20, I'm submitting this new finding and decisions just for 2021.
Okay. So the thing I got to do is just,
It was just those two properties. The other property, the third had 1032 177th, did show that he registered that for 2020. So we've been, it was just two in the Fourth District.
so just so I'm straight, Nick, we're waiving the late fee for 2021, and you
Correct.
can register at a cost of $5?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, then I'm going to make a recommendation that we waive the late fees for both properties for the year of 2021, and he can do that for, register those at a cost of $5.
I concur.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Get these over here. Letter C, bike swap and shop closure of William Street. Okay. Yeah, they've done that before, right? Okay. Okay, they've done this before, and the president, Kevin Margraf, went over last week and looked at it, so we're going to, I'm going to make a recommendation to approve the request.
I concur.
Letter D, MW King Solomon Universal Grand Lodge, Ancient, York Masons, St. John's Day Cookout Street closure. Okay, the president also looked at that request, and I'm going to make a recommendation to approve that request also.
I concur.
Letter E, request to place banner at 169th Street and Kennedy Avenue. Anybody? From what I understand, the owner of the business gave them permission, so I think we're okay with that one. So I'm going to make a recommendation to approve the placement of the banner at 169th and Kennedy Avenue.
I concur.
The meeting is now open to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to speak? Come on up, sir.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name, sir?
My name is Jose Galvan,
Okay.
1521 Summer Street, Hammond, Indiana.
1521?
Yes.
Okay.
I have, okay, I wrote it down. Around my neighborhood, we have issues with illegal dumping at the end of Birch Avenue, White Oak, and Willis Avenue, and people also burning cars. Since it is property owned by railroad and the city alleyways are full of grown weeds and trees, the neighborhood doesn't have any use for it. The back end. If it is possible to have dead-end signs at the beginning of the block, each block, White Oak, Birch Avenue, and Willis, to stop these illegal activities. And two, if it is possible, speeding from Columbia to the boulevard and vice versa. It happens all the time. And fortunately, the little bit of residential homes are now fully occupied, you can say. It's a lot of kids, people more, active in the area. So it will help if there is some stop signs somewhere along the streets between the boulevard and Columbia, or most likely Grand and the boulevard, to try to slow down the traffic.
Okay.
So that's what I came here to ask. If it is.
Thanks. Okay, as far as the one-way signs go, Dean, can you help me out here? I'm not sure how that would maybe stop dumping. I don't know if it might scare them away if they're afraid there's no exit if they get back there. I guess you're right about that.
Yeah, if I may, for instance, White Oak, I was the one cutting the grass at the very end of the alley, which is just basically ground. So I stopped cutting it last year, and there is no illegal dumping. So just by having the weeds about 2 or 3 feet tall, it stops that. But in Willis Avenue, I own that half of the block is empty. I own the back, so I cut the weeds, but not too short. I leave them like 2 feet tall. That stops them. The problem is that next to the tracks, the railroad tracks, it is pretty much like compacted, so no weeds can grow there. And from what the county map says, that is actually railroad property.
Yes.
And that's where the burning cars, race, off-wheel. People comes actually to the neighborhood to race dirt bikes, four-wheelers. They don't even live there. I have called the police, and the police actually told them, you don't live here, so, and that's illegal. So stuff like that can actually help the community. It's not too many houses, but we do enjoy it. It is quiet. So by blocking it, it actually improves everything from crime to the quality of life of the neighborhood. So it's just something that if it's possible.
Okay. Dean, can we take it under advisement as far as the stop sign? I'm not sure where we could put a stop sign, though.
So it's not advisable to use stop signs for speed control,
Right.
I mean, that's right out of the manual of uniform traffic control devices. I would like to explain to the resident that we have a really interesting federal aid project that's coming up on Summer Street to reconstruct Summer from Columbia all the way to Indianapolis Boulevard. That is in late 22, November 22, so that whole roadway is going to look completely different and a lot better, in 2023. So there'll be a lot of construction. I know that's pretty far out. I'd be happy to take a look at the neighborhood to see if there's anything that can be done to make some of the improvements that he's suggesting, but it'll take some time to review.
So, sir, can you
Yeah.
meet with Mr. Button maybe after the meeting, and he can talk about that? The speeding issue, I will get somebody on that right away. I'll have more patrols over there watching for speeding, because I do know that they do speed along that road for
Yeah.
sure. So,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we go down to my office after this?
Anybody else from the public would like to speak? Hey, Kev, can you pull that down for me?
I'll get the mic for you, sir.
Yes, my name is Sosos Palomo. I live at 6836 Huron Avenue. And we wouldn't be having issues with the business. There's a business there, it's a karate business. On Saturdays, they want the alley, they want everything to do, because the place is small, and they use the alley, they do exercises early in the morning, and they doing a lot of noise. And another thing too, we were using the parking space where the business was there. The business is not there no more. And we were real friendly with the previous owner, and we even knew the owner before him too. So anyway, there's another thing too. There's a sign there. It says 30-minute parking space on going on south on Huron Street, and I think that sign should be removed because it's obsolete. And when the people of the business, they called the police on us, and the police sided with them. And there was an individual there. He said he was the new owner, and I don't even know if he's the owner or not. The thing is now they got the whole space. We cannot even use it at night. I mean, we weren't parking on their side. We were parking on the side where the business used to be. But they've sold it, and I don't know, somebody bought it, and they were supposed to open some business, and I guess they're having problems because they never opened nothing. Okay. And then this individual that was there, I think it's a client of that, and then they say he owned it. Well, where's the proof? You know, the policeman came, and like I say, they sided with the business.
Okay, do you know the business name, sir?
No, I don't know, but
is anybody familiar with it?
I'm familiar with the building. I'm not familiar with the name of the actual business that's open, the karate.
Yeah, it's a karate.
Okay.
Yeah, the other one is a Woodmar Deli. It used to be, but it's not there no more.
Okay, so the issue is Saturday mornings.
Yeah, Saturday
That's
mornings
what it is?
they use the whole alley. And in fact, we used to park right there on the business that was closed.
Uh-huh.
And they told us to remove the cars over there the previous night because they were going to have this.
Okay.
You know, and I don't think they have a permit to do this, close the alley, and then plus the noise. They have a music, doing exercise and stuff, and there's people that are being bothered by this.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, sir, is I'm going to make a visit to there. I'm going to talk to him myself personally, and I'll find out what's going on, okay?
Yeah,
As
okay.
far as the street sign being removed, or the sign being removed, I will talk to the city engineer, and we'll figure out
Yeah,
if that's,
because
if that's possible.
it says 30, it was used by Dave for people that came and buy sandwiches
Right.
and left, and it was only 30 minutes, and that's what it says, 30 minutes. And
You're
when
saying since it's no longer needed, it shouldn't be there?
it shouldn't be there.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
Because
okay?
the policeman used that as an excuse. He says, as long as that sign is there, you cannot park there.
Okay.
And that's public parking. That's public parking. And they want to use it for their clients.
Okay, like I said, I'll speak to the owner myself.
Okay.
And myself and the city engineer will take a look at that sign, and we'll see if it can be removed.
And could you
okay?
investigate, see if there's a new owner?
Absolutely, I will, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else from the public that'd like to speak? Then I will make a recommendation, we adjourn the meeting.
I concur.
Thank you, everybody.